All right. It's very, very humid today. New day, new guitar. Well, not new. I built this probably about 2.5 years ago, maybe. Notice the forearm bevel. So when you lay in your arm right here, you're not getting this stupid line in your arm from playing so much, like cutting your wrist. And anyway, it's got a Floyd Rose Special, well, a mix of Special and 1000 series, but that base plate in particular happens to be Special, which there's not a ton of difference. The entire base plate is case hardened on a 1000 series. On a Special, it's point hardened, so it's hardened at the arm, at the pivot points, and someplace else, maybe where the block goes in. So certain points are just as hard as the original, and other parts they don't, it's just steel. It doesn't really matter. But of course the pivot points are spot hardened, and the arm, where that goes around is spot hardened. So they can, they can forge or seal or anodize or whatever the hell they do, work the metal to be harder in certain points on the Specials. Everybody says, oh, Specials are cheap. Well, they are cheaper. Mostly it's because of the saddles are zinc instead of steel. Now, these are probably, unfortunately, zinc. I can't. You don't know until you actually get them off and look up close. Actually, it's the markings on the bottom that'll tell you. And they're slightly different heights, sizes. Not from each other. Of course, they're different heights from each other, but the original and the Special series are slightly different, casts, I should say. It has the hollow point intonation system. You just loosen the nut and twist these, and it sends the intonation up or down, and then you lock that little screw up front there again, and boom. This has the EMG. Am I in the center? All my switches go forward and back. All right, it's the EMG 81 and 60, and the screws are missing because this came out of, I had got these in a Jackson with no rings, and it was just screwed to the body, so the little grommet things that are in the EMGs are missing on this. So I just wedged them in there underneath these rings so they don't really move. And if you remember the other video where that's the PI1 or the PI2. One of them is a toggle switch, is PI1, and the PI2 is the push pull, or vice versa. Either way, it's a phase inverter, EMG. It's a Michelangelo BTO neck, set in, because I always set mine in, has a battery box. Oh, that's a MAB plate. That's a homemade plate. That one's weird looking. Of course, it has a body carve. Come on. There. That's a body carve. And there's probably a block in here of walnut. No, I didn't have walnut then. I don't know what's in there. Probably, I don't know, maple or something? I don't know. I like to put something different in underneath where I set the neck into. It usually goes up to about here. He usually puts the block in up to where the pickup route starts. Alright, here. This one actually has a Dean headstock. I cut off the old Dean 6-in-line headstock, and if you can see the little line right there, I show you. What I do is I cut like this. I cut a triangle out of it, and I leave that. And then, like on this one, I took a regular Dean headstock, and I laid it up against that triangle, scribed the line, cut that out, set it in as close as possible, wedged the little toothpick type crap in there to make it fit tight and fairly straight, and then I put on veneer. I sand it all clean, I put veneer on it, and I clamp the blank out of it, and it's stronger than anything because veneer is strong. All right, so let's
And that's this build, and there it is.